Good evening, my dear students, second PUC 2021-22 batch. Welcome to today's English grammar session. So I'd like to highlight the importance of grammar in this valuable session. So this is the precious moment in your lives. Grammar plays a very important role in our lives. Without grammar, nothing can be learnt in this world. No language can be learnt in this world. Grammar is the basis. Grammar is the significant factor. Grammar is the substantial factor in our lives. So without language, so we can learn nothing in this world. Sciences cannot be learnt. Technology cannot be learnt. Okay, so in this digitalized world, so spoken English plays a very important role side by side, spoken Kannada and spoken Hindi. So in English grammar, you have come across, you have learnt, you have developed. So you got lot of English linguistic skills cultivated in your earlier classes. So in English grammar, so we have the parts of speech. The parts of speech play a very important role. Why do I say the parts of speech play a very important role? So without which, so we cannot frame sentences, we cannot construct sentences, we cannot build meaningful sentences. So these parts of speech are the components or or like the spare parts. So used to build a sentence. A sentence so is divided into three parts: SVO, subject, verb, and object. So primarily and obviously, so in grammar, English grammar specifically, predominantly, the parts of speech, as I said, is very very important. So the parts which play a prominent role. So how can you think or believe or imagine the role of the parts of speech? What do you mean by parts of speech? So parts of speech means parts of what we speak. Parts of what we speak. What is the difference between speak and speech? So speech is the noun, one of the parts of speech. Speak is the verb, one of the parts of speech. Spoken English, I said, is very important. So the spoken there stands for an adjective. So it is one of the parts of speech. So in today's class, so I would like to highlight the role of prepositions. So which is one of the parts of speech. So among the 9 parts of speech, so the prepositions play a vital role. So the preposition, learning prepositions is a substantial issue, is a vast topic. So it cannot be so easily understood. So it has to be practiced. So it has to be cultivated. So it has to be habituated. So continuous, constant, consistent learning is essential. So you should develop reading abilities. So the reading, writing and speaking are what we call the linguistic skills. So in today's session, I would like to explain to you about the prepositions. So what is a preposition? What is the role of a preposition? You see, a preposition is a word. You see, a preposition is a word placed before a noun. A preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun. A preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation to some other word in the sentence. So this is the definition. A preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation to some other word in the sentence. So meanwhile, although the preposition is usually placed before a noun or pronoun, sometimes, sometimes, so what happens? Sometimes it comes after the object. Sometimes it comes after the word which it governs. Sometimes it comes after the word which it governs. So a preposition is a word that connect nouns and pronouns with a verb or adjective in a sentence. So meanwhile, a preposition is a word that indicates relationship of a noun with other words of a sentence. So prepositions help us to understand, to understand, okay, the connections, the positions, the connections, the positions, and so connections, positions, and other factors. Prepositions also explain the relationships of sequence, space, and logic between the object of the sentence and rest of the sentence. So in this way, prepositions play a very important role, without which we cannot build a sentence. So prepositions play a very important role here. So based on these explanation, based on these details, so prepositions are divided into 5 types. So the 5 types are simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition, participle preposition, and phrase preposition. So these are the 5 types of prepositions. Okay, so simple preposition. What do you mean by this simple preposition? So simple prepositions are actually have one word prepositions. So simple prepositions are one word prepositions. So which are those one word prepositions? The one word prepositions are on, off, okay, above, atop, for, from, beneath, below, up. So these are some of the one word prepositions. So these one word prepositions can be easily used, can be easily employed. So sometimes these simple prepositions are used either knowingly or unknowingly. So whether you use them either knowingly or unknowingly, so the sentences are said to be accurate. The sentences are said to be correct. Okay, so this is the practice what we have put up with. So next we have double prepositions. What do you mean by double prepositions? So double prepositions means, don't underestimate that we have double prepositions like to, like from, like above, like for, like from, like this. So double prepositions are those, okay, which are used too many times in a sentence. So we can use prepositions more than one time in a sentence. So such prepositions are called double prepositions. There is no big difference between double preposition and compound prepositions. So okay, double prepositions, we are using more than one preposition within a sentence. Compound prepositions, we are using more than one or two prepositions within a sentence. So they stand, okay, exactly used, correctly, okay, formulated, accurately, okay, framed. So that is called compound prepositions. So for example, double prepositions. So we use lengthy sentences, long sentences. Okay, when we use lengthy and long sentences, we keep using prepositions, okay, in many ways. For example, you say, so my friend came from Bangalore to go to Chennai. So my friend came from Bangalore to go to Chennai. So here we have used from as well as to. So that is a very simple formulation. So compound preposition. So we are using many prepositions within a lengthy sentence, within a long sentence. Okay, too many prepositions are employed. Okay, framing meaningful sentences, accurate sentences. Then come participle sentences. So what are these participle sentences? Participle sentences relate to the gerunds in English grammar. So what are these gerunds? So gerunds are the, okay, verbal nouns. They are the verbal nouns. Okay, so they are the participles, present participle, or what we call the past participle. The words ending with ing, what we call ing. Sometimes we call them as ing for verbs. Ing for verbs. Suppose you say a phrase like, what is that, relating to. So that relating is the participle accompanied by to, relating to. Okay, relating to. Understand? Pertaining to, asking for. Okay, requested with. Okay, these are called participle prepositions. So look at this. that requesting for, okay, begging for, relating to, compared to, okay, these are called participle prepositions. So these participle prepositions are largely employed in our, okay, English usage. So these participle prepositions or compound prepositions or double prepositions or at the most simple prepositions are largely employed in our, okay, spoken English. Okay, so they give a lot of this one strength and stamina to our speech. So we are capable to, we have the capability to deliver our speeches with the help of this preposition. So that's why this preposition is a vast subject. It is not a simple subject like noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, like this. So preposition is a vast subject. It is an extensive, okay, it has an extensive area. Understood? So it should be well learnt. Otherwise, we are in a troubled situation. Sometimes we misunderstand words like for, since, besides, beside. Understood? So these mistakes or errors creep in. So next come to participle, there is participle prepositions. Next coming back to phrasal prepositions. So we have hundreds of phrasal prepositions in our English language. So employing in our, okay, spoken English. Understood? Which plays a very important role in learning English. Okay. So we have phrasal verbs like phrasal prepositions like in front of, in accordance with, based on, okay, in spite of, okay, in accordance with, in spite of, in front of, as a matter of fact. So these are some of the important phrasal prepositions. So, in total, we have five types of prepositions. That is simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition, participle preposition, and phrasal preposition. Understand? So in this session, I would like to, okay, revise once again the meanings and definitions of prepositions. So in the first place, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation to some other word or some other word in the sentence. Okay, a preposition is a word placed before a noun or pronoun to show its relation to some other word in the sentence. So although the preposition is usually placed before a noun or pronoun, sometimes what happens? Sometimes it comes after the word which it governs. Sometimes it comes after the word which it governs. That means a preposition helps us to connect nouns and pronouns, okay, with a verb or adjective in a sentence. Understood? A preposition, okay, is a word, okay, that indicates relationship between a noun and other words of a sentence. A preposition, okay, explains the relationships of sequence. Prepositions explain the relationships of sequence, space, and logic between, okay, between the nouns, logic between the object of the sentence, logic between the object of the sentence and the rest of the sentence. Okay, so the prepositions help us to understand the order in which, okay, the prepositions are used in a sentence. Help us to understand the order, okay, understand the time, understand, okay, the connections, understand the positions. So based on these definitions, based on this detailed information, understood? So the preposition is divided into five types. That is simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition, participle preposition, and phrase preposition. Now let us move on to relations shown by prepositions. Let us move on to relations shown by prepositions. So let us move on to relations shown by prepositions. Understood? Prepositions, understood, show various kinds of relation. Prepositions, according to this title, show various kinds of relation. So the main types of relations are: number one, place. Number one, place. Number two, time. Number three, method and manner. Number three, method and manner. Number four, reason and purpose. Number four, reason and purpose. Number five, possession. And number six, direction and motion. So these are the relations shown by prepositions. The various kinds of relations shown by prepositions are: place. Okay, so identifying the place; time, recognizing the time; method and manner, employing the method and manner; so reason, so showing the reason; purpose, exhibiting the purpose; possession, okay, possessing it. So got it possessed, what we say. Duration, direction and motion. Direction in which it moves. Okay, the direction and dimension. So this relation indicates. For example, when you come to place, so what happens? We have various, okay, this one examples here. He ran dash the road. So look at this sentence. He ran dash the road. So that indicates the place. He ran dash the road. So we use the simple preposition across the road. He ran dash the road, across the road. She fell dash the thorns, among the thorns. She fell dash the thorns, among the thorns. He was dash the foot of the tree. He was at the foot of the tree. He stood dash the door. He stood behind the door. So look at these simple prepositions, one word prepositions. So in the first instance, use across. Second instance, among. Third instance, at. Fourth instance, behind. And the next one is, he lives dash India, in India. That indicates place, in India. Then there is a coat dash. There is a cat dash the table, under the table. There is a cat dash the table, under the table. That is an indication of place. A path dash the lake. A path above the lake. A path above the lake. So that indicates the place or the situation. I hung my coat dash the door, behind the door. I hung my coat dash the door, behind the door. I hung my coat dash the door, behind the door. So these are some of the simple examples given to the place, okay, the situation, the circumstance. Let's come to time. So time, you see time, that is an indication of time. They got married dash Friday the 5th June. They got married dash Friday, on Friday. So that is an indication of time. He came dash 6 o'clock, at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, indication of time. You must return dash sunset, before sunset. Wait dash tomorrow, till tomorrow. He stopped dash a month. He stayed dash a month. He stayed for a month. He arrived dash Monday, on Monday. The seminar starts dash 10 a.m. at 10 a.m. The company was founded dash the 20th century, in the 20th century. Okay, did you understand? So these are some of the details I would like to give for today's session. So today I gave vivid explanation relating to the meanings, the types and relations shown by prepositions. So with this I conclude my today's session. Okay, I wish you all the best. God bless you.